Good day everyone, I'm Shaira Marisa Bulao and I'm going to discuss how to play Scrabble. First, set up the board and rocks and prepare to play. Preparing for the game means that you get everything you need ready. Make sure that you have a game board, that there are 110 tiles available in the bag, that there is a rock for each player, and of course that you have willing people to play with. Each person should get a rock and a comfy position at the board. Place all of the tiles into the bag and shake it to mix them up nicely. You are now ready to play Scrabble. The next step is to decide who starts the game off. Second, determine who starts the game. In order to decide who goes first, each of the players must draw a random tiles from the bag. The player who draws the tiles letter that is closest to A is the player who will go first. The direction of play is meant to go in a clockwise direction. If any of the players draws a blank tiles, it automatically means that they get to start the game. Now that you know who will play first, each player needs to get sufficient tiles to play the game. Third, each player draws tiles. Player 1 gets to draw tiles first, followed by the rest of the players in a clockwise direction. Each player must draw 7 tiles randomly from the bag. It is important that you do not let any other players see what tiles you have. Drawing one tile at a time is helpful as you can place each one onto the rock. When you are done, pass the bag to the next player so that they can do the same. Fourth, each player gets a turn to play a word. Player 1 gets to create the first word. The first word must be at least 2 letters long, and one of the tiles for the word must be placed over the square that is found in every middle of the board. This is the starting point. You cannot play a diagonal word, but you can position the word vertically or horizontally as required. Each player then has a turn to follow suit. It is important to note that the starting word comes with a double score attached. If a player is unable to play a word, he or she can skip a turn. A player cannot skip 2 turns in a row. Going round after round in a clockwise position makes sense. But when is the game over? The game is over when all letters have been drawn and one of the players has his or her last letter or no more words can be played. Next, tally up the scores. At the end of the round, the scores need to be tallied up. When you play a word, make a note of the points that the word is worth. You can find little numbers printed on the bottom right corner of each of the tiles. Add this up and keep a note of it. At the end of the game, the person with the highest score will win. It's important to note that if a player uses all of his or her 7 tiles in one round, he or she gets 50 bonus points added to their scores. Next, draw new tiles. Every time you play a set of tiles to make a word, you need to draw new tiles, the same amount as you have just played. The new tiles must be placed onto your rock and the bag of tiles must be passed on to the next player. Next, build on the existing words on the board. As each player adds to the board, there are new opportunities to create new words that crop up. With every turn, you get to build on the existing words on the board. You cannot create a word on its own that is not connected to the words that are already on the board. Your added tiles must create a new word. And if your new word connects with other tiles on the board, where they connect has to make sense and be a valid, acceptable word. Next, focus on getting the highest scores possible on each turn. As you play, you need to focus on playing tiles that ramp up your score tally as quickly as possible. Really scrutinize the board to ensure that you are seeing all possible options, that you are playing those that earn you the most points. You will notice that there are premium squares available on the board. These are indicated on the board, so if you can play them, do so. These include the following: double word scores. Words that are placed on the particular area have a double score attached to them. Look at the number printed on the tiles and multiply that by 2 when you are tallying up the score. Next, double letter score. Letters that are placed on this particular square will receive a double score. Check the number that is printed on your tile and then make sure that you double that score when you tally up. Next is triple word score. Any word that includes the letter tile that is placed on this particular square is liable for a triple score. That means that you multiply the tally for the word by 3. Next is triple letter score. A letter tile that is placed on this particular square can enjoy a score that is triple.